Hello everyone, welcome again to Motis Podcast.
What happened?
Take over.
That's a settle. I have no for you today.
You're the best
I
person
am,
to
I
start.
am a child of God. I have the mind of Christ. Okay, so I'm T. I'm not introducing him.
I'm Mara.
Because he set me up. But I'm T. Welcome to our podcast. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are Motus. We film about lifestyle and faith, or a lifestyle of faith from Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, we're still Nigerian, still in Nigeria, till when the Lord will have us leave.
Amen.
Because it's still you, Jackpot. So you understand, welcome. It's always good to add a little bit of humor to it. Life is not so hard. We have the mind of Christ, we have God, so we have to smile intentionally, smile at everything that is going on. So welcome guys, today is going to be awesome because you already seen fine and lush faces, pretty girls, you understand? That love God, don't forget, don't scrap it, no?
I'm a responsible
Big
young
girls
fine
love.
man.
Sorry?
I'm
Excuse me?
a responsible young
Anything?
fine man.
Any?
Amongst us. So we have guests in our midst today
Yeah.
to help us do justice to the magnanimous topic that we have in front of us.
You don't have to show that you're wordsmith, like you wield words to your whatever.
Anyways, today we're talking about absent parents, and we have an amazing set of people in the house today to join us in talking about this. So let me leave the floor to them to introduce themselves to you, starting with.
That pretty girl over there.
Hello everyone, I'm Shola.
Hi, my name is Esther.
Hi, I'm Benita. Hello, I'm Favour.
My name is Isaac.
Isaac, Favour, Benita, Esther, Sholape.
You stole that from me.
Eventually, I watched that episode. Anyways, so we're talking about absent parents, and diving right into it. Do you believe there's like an effect of maybe one or both parents being absent in the growth process of a child? Anybody?
Snatch the topic, please. Take it. Like
You want me
it's
to be
hot.
calling names?
No.
No,
What's
you
your
should.
view? Okay, starting with Sholape. What's your view? What's your view? Okay, does it have an effect at all? Does it even have a toll on the lives of children, even adults? In adulting,
Well, I think it does actually, because as a little boy, growing up without a father is going to really affect you because you do not have someone you're looking up to. You are passing through the teenage stage, passing through youth stage, and there's supposed to be this person that will be putting you through that, okay, I've been here before, and this is what you're supposed to do. Is that you're supposed to handle this? It's really going to affect you, except if you have to choose to be intentional about it, or you try to adopt a person you can look up to. Yes, like adopt a father outside, not a biological father. Yes, I think it's going to affect even as a lady. Well, I think what just helps is intentionality. If you decide that you want to go past the fact that you don't have parents, you don't have a particular parent with you, it's really going to tell, actually, in the long run.
Isaac?
Yeah, I think it has effect, and to a large extent, it's intrinsic. Whether you have a father or a mother or not, you can still choose your path. That is why the age of accountability is not 30 or 40. It's like when you begin to know the difference between what is good and what is bad, like 5 is very young, so that you can choose for yourself that I want my life to be like this, or I want my life to be like this. It's just that it can be challenging because something that someone would just tell you, do like this, you would have to learn it for yourself. So that's
You
just
will have made a
extra
lot of
work.
mistakes in the
Yes,
process.
extra work.
And some mistakes you can never recover from.
Yes, there are some mistakes that can dent a person. Like this guy they want me. What's happened?
was the house boss for me.
It can date someone. Wow.
Yes, now we agree. We actually agree.
Let him learn.
I should compose myself better.
There are mistakes that can dent people. That's it.
Sorry.
Esther, you want to check?
Yeah,
So,
I feel like it's a serious effect when there's one parent figure missing. Because for someone like me now, when I don't know, I'm very indecisive. So like when I want to make decisions, I tend to like put it on people. So like, okay, let's say I'm doing this now. I have my mom to ask. Oh, mommy, don't decide for me. Anything you say, if it happens, it's you. But I can't keep doing that forever. But I feel like having parents there is for communication. There are some things that I can tell my mom that I know that my mom is chill about it. And my daddy be like, hey. And things that I'll tell my dad, I'm like, daddy, talk to your wife. So I feel like both parents should be there for balance. Oh, okay, mommy, this. Okay, I'll talk to your daddy about it. We'll see what we can do. Because I mean, it's for like both parents to work together. Exactly. Like you say, they're always like, it's always better when one person is calm and then the other person is so it's a balance. So I feel like both parents should be involved.
Floor is open. If you want to say something,
Shoot your shot, guy.
Okay. So I read something prior to this session that confidence and love are catalysts for a child's self-esteem. And that primarily is usually given by our parents, especially when they are present. You know the funny thing about parents that are not absent, you don't have to be physically absent. You might be present in the house and emotionally unavailable for the kids. So the child doesn't even know. So let's say like what she said now about a parent, one is not so emotional and the other is the emotional person. So the person you're supposed to learn emotions, like good emotions from, is not available. So how do you show how to express your emotions, right? Because emotions can be tossed here and there. And then such child begins to have issues in the future, have issues with relationships. And the problem is if you don't notice on time where this factor or where this effect is coming from, they begin to live their lives like that.
It becomes a cycle.
Yes, it becomes a circle. And another thing is sometimes people don't realize on time because of pain and hurt. So you can make a decision and say, oh, I don't want to be like my father, or I don't want to be like my mother. But sometimes it is another thing for you to recognize that, oh, I'm going to live past this hurt and I am going to be better. A lot of us are used to, oh, this person hurts me, so I'm going to stay here. Do you know, especially when you want to try to talk to that person, like, do you know where I'm coming from? Do you know the kind of family I had? I think my father was not there. You have both parents. Until you realize that, you know what, I think I'm going to be a better person regardless. So, yeah.
I think I can relate to that because, well, if we are here to learn from one another, and this might probably be the first time some people might be hearing this. For me too, I had my dad absent, right? So I had my mom all through growing up, but now I don't have her again because she's, resting, right? But I made a resolution right from when I was young that I was never going to be like my dad, like you said. But one thing that you said that struck me was making that decision from a place of hurt and pain. It's not, at that time when I was making that decision, I just knew that my dad was not there for me. So I need to do better as a young man, growing up. By the time I become a man and I get married, I have to be there for my wife and my children. Do you understand? But then, growing up over time, I think at some point, the hurt and the pain reduced, but I won't totally deny the fact that it is still there. You understand? But then now, I think I will ask Benita this question. How do you then relate? How do you then work so much that you take away that hurt, that pain of maybe the father figure or the mother figure being absent? You even have some people that life happens and both parents are absent. You understand? Maybe the father was not ready to have the child, the mother was still in school and all that. The child came about, the father was telling the woman to abort, she didn't want to abort. She gave birth to the child, but then didn't have the resources to take care of the child, so she put up the child for an adoption. And then the child starts feeling like both of my parents don't want to. Out of such a child go past that pain and hurt.
Before I go to your question. She said something about psychological, emotional things, or for some people, they don't know that they have formed some kind of psychological barriers in their mind till they grow up.
Yeah.
So you might feel like, oh, it has no effect on me. I'm fine. I've accepted the fact that I don't have a father or I don't have a mother. But then, while you're growing up, you will now tend to realize that, okay, this thing actually hurts me. I've just been acting like I was fine all along because I am not fine. And then, to move forward, you need to have closure. You just need to forgive them. You need to forgive yourself. And you see this thing about forgiveness, it's not easy. We have to be honest. We have to be honest, and we're talking to Christians. I believe that this show, we are talking to Christians like us. You need to understand forgiveness from the aspect of Christ. It was not easy for him to take our sins. So when you actually think about that, okay, somebody came to die for my own sins. It was not easy. He took my own sin and gave me his righteousness. It was not easy for him to do that. It's not easy to forgive, but for your own future, for your own children, you just have to move past that hurt. You have to. There's this thing, I don't know if it's applicable to everybody, but while growing up, it was something my mom taught me.
Okay.
She called it the benefit of that.
Okay.
So, and it has worked for me along the line, like along the years. Whenever people do something to me, before it becomes a thing in my mind, I've already given an excuse. So, this person
She does that.
Yeah, she does.
She does that.
He does.
spoke to me in a way I didn't like. I could just come up with this person was probably angry. Something probably happened before then. It does. You said it. Really? Because you would go back to your house and start thinking, this person spoke to me and you're swelling up and you see your mental health is at stake. You're not going down, you're making wrong decisions, and we children will feel, my father left me, my mom left me, and then you're angry inside. The truth is that you're not going to take right steps until you work on that thing inside of you. You're going to keep making wrong decisions, and somehow, if we are not careful, pattern continues.
You continue. Yes.
You won't even be able to explain. And then you just become irresponsible in that area. So you just need to move past it. You need to somehow just find a way. Forgive, let go, and choose to be a better person. Not because my father wasn't available, not because my mom wasn't available, but because it's the right thing to do. I want to be there for my children because that's the right thing to do. Not because my dad wasn't there for me. No, we are doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Wow.
Should we clap?
You can't do whatever. Like, I'm blown away. Yeah, bring me back. Yeah, yes. Like, that's balance. She just spoke my heart in the sense that this is the way I function. It's like setting, inbuilt default setting. I have to give an excuse. So I can relate in the sense I have good parents. Glory to God. Okay, I used to have one parent that is no longer available. But when he was still here, that's my dad. I felt like that emotional connection wasn't there. So, because I know how to give excuses for people for my sanity, I don't even need to ask him, guy, why don't you give me emotions? You don't show any emotions. What's up with you? But I know if there's anything about love, he's the one I learned it from. The way he loves my mom, the way he's so protective about us. I would like to give this example. I planned on sharing it. It was one thing I was already realizing because my dad, before I passed, like I think it was a year he passed. And someone called my dad's number saying that, please, I want to speak to so person, Rachel Aduke, so calling her names, my mom's name. That's my mom's name. Calling her name that, I want to speak. This is from my secondary school association, kini. And the man happened to be, I'm a pastor of Redeemed, Story That Touch. So he spoke about that to my dad. My dad was like, sorry, you are speaking to her husband. I like that. He's always very assertive about stuff. As you're speaking to her husband, what do you want? And it was like, there's a WhatsApp group, this, that, Story That Touch. So he called my mom, that's my dad, like, who is this person? I'm like, how would she know? When he received the call, exactly. Who is this person that's calling me? I was like, I don't know the person. My mom was like, I don't know. I think people are talking like they are 60s old. I don't know the person. Okay, the man called my daddy repeatedly over and over again, asking to speak to my mom that, can you give me a number so we can add that to the group and ask what's up? My daddy was like, I'm sorry, I can't give you a number. I was like, calling, and really was, because he was not with us, because of being a pastor, he had to stay away because many, that was even Corona period. So he called home and I was like, who is this person that is calling me? You are not saying the truth. You know the person. I'm like, guy, she's here in Lagos. You are there. Okay, what's the issue? Are you having issues that she might cheat on you at what age? Who is the person at her 60s? I said, it's not adding up. It was my elder sister that had to start. Okay, it's not like that. It's like this. Daddy, calm down. I was like, that's the height of jealousy at that age. Then I built a mentality in my mind that jealousy is actually an expression of God. If you're not jealous of me, and I was like, so my dad is actually still crazy about this young woman. It's old woman that, wow. I was like,
jealousy an expression of love?
Yes, somehow, because God is a jealous
It's envy that is
So there's a borderline between envy and
jealousy is healthy.
No, but there's a
Context.
level, yeah.
I think the context defines this healthy jealousy. Because jealousy in itself is not described in the dictionary as a positive word.
But God said he's a jealous God.
Yes, but in case where
what's that jealous nature that he has?
No. I think the context. So I am sharing a thing with you, yeah. I love, let me not say sharing a thing. I love somebody, yeah. I want to be, so the way I love is different. The way I want love is that I love you. I don't want you to, I want that love you have should be for me. I don't want it to be for any other person. I don't care about them outside. I don't want, if I see you smile in a way that you used to, that you smile at me.
Yes.
Something you call me.
Yes.
For you.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy.
It's I might feel weird, but
So you can do that to every other person.
yeah. So if I
That
see,
is
the only way I would feel jealous when I begin to have feelings for a person, and maybe the person is not giving me the attention that I think that the person should give me. That's a different case. But jealousy in itself might not be healthy.
Like
Yes.
for like the proper definition of jealousy, you have to do it with your own self-confidence. God said, I am a jealous God. Yet that same person is a maker of the universe. Do you see? So in himself, he's secured. Do you understand? He's secured in himself. There's nothing like, I even made you safe. And I'm still saying my thoughts towards like, I'm mindful of that scripture again. I'm mindful of you. Do you understand? So when it comes to jealousy, you yourself, even before you begin to like, I jealous or anything like that, you have to be confident in yourself. That confidence is what provides the balance. Yes. Yeah, or insecurity.
Yeah, insecurity.
Some people use
Yes.
use jealousy now to do other things and say that it's because of love. It's because of love. It's not love.
That one is toxic.
Obsession.
That one is toxic.
Yes, that one is
Let me bring it home. That's the point I was trying to
Because the truth is, why would you even be with somebody who you are feeling very, aside from you having a low esteem, why would you be with somebody who is constantly giving you worry or making you have insecurity concerning you?
You know that these things actually still boil down to
So
because parenting, because children actually learn by imitation.
they see what happens every day.
It's the home.
And express yourself and express your emotion is how they love. So the reason why I know that I'm a
Who knows that song?
what song?
Like my father by Jazz.
Is it Dance or Record?
No. Okay. Alright. Please continue.
Yes, sounds great. Don't mind me. So, like I was saying, it's like an expression or it boils down to parenting because it's from there. That's the first point of learning.
Yes.
Your emotions, spirituality, everything
Character.
you are. Eventually, when they don't even want you to be like them, you've learned it by imitation unconsciously. Because it's what you see them do, you start to do. You know, that's like sometimes I told my parents, how these guys are loudspeakers, they shout a lot. Eventually, I find myself shouting. And I'm like, I do what
Wow,
to them. I know what
that's good.
It's good to tell you to what you've said. I know, but I'm like, eventually, it's what I learned from that story I was telling you that my dad expressed. I was like, guy, this guy doesn't express emotions so well, but this is what he did. So I could give the excuse for him that it's because he loves my mom so much that I couldn't even imagine it because he's been far away from us during that period for more than 8 months. And it was like, he was missing his wife. I'm like, right, calm down now. Your wife wants to meet another man. She's here, there's corona lockdown, she cannot go and meet anybody. They are still, you never allow her. She can't allow her. So we're like, wow, daddy calm down, which I begged him, he accepted, and I understood and I built a mindset that jealousy, somehow, like I've been corrected, depending on the context, is an expression of love. So even though my dad wasn't so emotional, like doesn't express too much emotion, it's very straightforward. When you get straightforward, one line.
Somebody shouts hallelujah.
We are going to fast in this house for 3 days.
It is it.
Nothing can make us.
You can't waste food in this house. You can't waste food in this house. And I'm a picky eater somehow. Like, though you is straight. Is this? He doesn't go back on his word. And if there's anything about loyalty, it's my dad. I learned that from him. So even though he wasn't expressing so much emotion, which I was able to build an excuse for him that how did he grow up? How did he live his life? He lived his life virtually by himself and he took care of his younger ones. So it was that masculine figure, he was the father figure, he was the everything, and also how would he have built that much emotion? There was nobody to be there for him. He had to build his own life by himself. So I get that excuse, I understood because I heard the stories eventually. But what if I didn't hear the stories? I would just be like, this man is just dead. This man is just this. And we thank God for the
So in a word now, in a sense, it's more like you're giving an excuse for, in this case now, your dad emotionally being absent, right? So is it okay or is it sane for each other?
Okay, can I correct you on that? Not like totally emotionally absent, but
not
some
to
emotions.
express
He did not
but
express
still
it the way you expected him to.
Yes, he wasn't coming down to
Love
me.
language.
Coming from the way
language.
she said it, like giving a, what did you call it again?
Excuse, benefits
of doubt, yeah. And then you came around and you explained something on excuse. Would it be same for a child that has experienced one or both parents being absent to give them excuse in their mind? Because let's be factual. If you cannot cater for a child, you don't have any business bringing that child into the world.
Okay.
Parenting is not just even by bringing children into the world. That's where you should actually correct that mindset. Even people that don't, it's not by fathering or mothering.
Biology.
Parenting goes beyond that.
Functionality.
It's a skill that should be learned.
Right?
You should
Even
learn
before
it.
you give birth.
Yes, you should learn. It's a skill. It's not something that just comes upon you by virtue of giving birth to a child or by fathering a child. No.
I think there are people that, to an extent, they didn't know the length to which they would go, in terms of relationship with people, until they went, especially women, until they went through the labor experience. Now, that experience made them to see life as very fragile, as also to be more empathic, right, when dealing with other people. Have more empathy when dealing with people because you be like, oh, this is someone's child. So if I can't do this to my child, let me not do it to another person. So I'm just trying to say that some people, it comes upon those people while they have gone through that phase of giving birth.
That's what we're saying.
But you can't really use that to establish.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there are people that give birth and also abandon their children.
Exactly.
So what
Some
should
people have post-traumatic abuse. There's
But
what
then,
they call
what actually led to
Yeah.
this discussion was me asking, say for instance, that story I shared at the beginning, I'm just picturing myself in that story. Say the man was not ready to settle down, but he was frolicking around with a girl who was still in school. She got pregnant. He doesn't want any child. Told her to abort, even gave her money. She collected the money, didn't abort, gave birth to the child. Now she gave birth to the child kept growing. I'm a storyteller, thank you. I know. But then after some time she realized that she doesn't have enough resources to cater for this child. So the next available thing to do, not to dump the child at the gutter, is to go and drop the child at an orphanage. And then I am this child and I'm growing up, no form of communication from my mother, no form of communication from my father. The orphanage I am, we know how orphanages are in our country, deprived of so many things. They don't even get to eat 3 square meals a day. How do you expect me to make an excuse for such a person or for such people that didn't even make any effort to be there for me? Come on, guys, let's be realistic.
To err is human, but to forgive is divine. So you are not looking at, since you want to make first your life better, you want to make the world better. You can't keep on holding grudges. Do you understand? Even God told Abraham, from where you are, lift up your eyes. So from that place where you are, just know that, okay, they messed up. Their mistakes has nothing to do with me. Do you understand? Then you go for knowledge. Like, knowledge is powerful. Go for knowledge. Even meditation alone self can even cure most of these things we are talking about. Just to meditate. I am not a mistake. I am confident. I am alone. 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 Well, that's what counselors and this thing. It's just a biblical principle. They will just use a polished word and say what the Bible already said about you. Then you pay them for it because you refuse to sit with. Do you understand? So that's just it. That's just it. Moving forward.
You know, human beings, we have a very, very bad, or people of the world have a bad habit. We tend to focus on negative things. For example, someone doesn't have money and maybe the person is comfortable with his present position. And the person is like, after all, I get mates who never make up. Why not think, I have mates that are
making it, yes.
That are making moves, good financial moves and all of that. We tend to focus on
Compare ourselves to the
less.
negative one.
How would you even compare yourself?
Comfortable with mediocrity instead of looking forward and trying to aim at
It's
something
easy
better.
to be poor,
So,
Sha.
it's easy. Like we choose the easy way out. That's what it is. The easy
Financial
way out is to
intelligence.
see, oh, my parents abandoned me. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard to forgive.
That thing is giving me another ideology actually, that rather than make an excuse for your parents, that person feeling that way is giving himself legit reasons, excuse as
To do anyhow.
Remain
why not to be
yes.
successful in life.